Welcome back to the build-up, gentlemen. 2 days until the World Cup starts. It's coming. Are we ready? I'm so ready.
What World Cup?
I can't, James. Not today. No beer at the World Cup.
Haven't seen it for a few days, right? Already.
Travesty.
You're gonna get years.
There's no beer at the World Cup.
You know, you've had 12 years to plan for this World Cup, right? 12 years. 12 years. And 2 days before, as an Englishman, right, who outside of work hasn't gone to a sporting event without drinking lots of beer since I was like 17 years of age, right? You've had 12 years to prepare for this, and now they change it? I mean, listen, there's bigger concerns, let's be honest, for this World Cup, right?
This is a pretty big one.
This is pretty big.
It's up there.
All right, it's up there, right?
right?
You know, all joking aside, I mean, can you enjoy sports without beer when you're not working?
Can you gamble there?
No, man, no way.
No way.
We can't do anything.
It just shows the
But it's so much-
organization, right?
it's just- everything's changing on the fly over there.
That's why it doesn't make any sense. You're right. Like 2 days before, people have bought their tickets in advance. Think about all these Europeans who are going and they're like, we're going to see our team. We're going to get wasted. It's going to be a party. And now they're like, we will be sober.
Which
Go ahead.
fan base do you think is going to be the most?
English. Are you
It's English?
joking?
Oh,
yeah.
There's not even a doubt.
Debate.
They're lucky the Irish aren't there.
Yeah.
But they're really nice people, but still, you gotta, they need to lose. 50-50.
Of course they are.
I didn't read the whole article behind this thing. So what is it? It's a complete ban?
Well, no, apparently in the suites, they'll serve free alcohol because part of the deal of getting a suite was there would be
suite?
booze served in the suite.
The rich
so
get rich.
the
So,
rich
yeah,
people
like
are part of
rich
it.
get
Yeah, it's a scum in the stand.
But the general fan, no way.
No, exactly.
There's not like individual bars and stuff? Like,
No, not in the stadium. So it's within the stadium perimeters.
Oh, I see,
So the
okay.
fan zones and the licensed events and there are bars attached to hotels, many I think in Qatar. I did some research about this for some reason. They'll be just jammed. You can imagine. And the trouble is, if you can't drink during the game, these fans are going to go to the bars before the game
Of course.
and drink a lot more. And then by the time they get to the stadiums,
What are the
the
rules?
first half
be a
is
disaster.
50% empty stadium.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
bar.
precisely.
What are the rules for like walking around like intoxicated? Like some people can't
You
handle the
can
liquor.
get
I mean,
arrested.
if-
you
some
can
people
get
can't handle
arrested.
it.
for
If you're
that.
going,
yourself.
me personally, if I'm going there, I'm not walking around intoxicated.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Right?
No,
The
but they
rules
had-
are like really strict. Like you can get
gotta be
arrested.
careful.
Like we're talking like 7 years detained. Like it's really
Well,
strict.
they're saying that they're going to have these sober zones. If they find people who are, like Mikey would be, for example,
Yeah.
like beyond drunk, like paralytic,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they'll move them into these zones to
Is
sober
that
up.
the same thing as jail? Like
Pretty much the same thing, yeah. You can't leave until you're sober.
It's the drunk tank is what it is. They just want to call it that. That's what it is.
But it's just, listen, like I said, there's way more concerns with this World Cup
Yeah.
than just booze, but it's just one more thing, isn't it? And a lot of fans going over there are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
what would
Yeah.
you guys do if this is the straw that like cancels the World Cup?
Yeah,
Like,
this
the
was
reason.
it.
Forget the human rights issues.
Yeah, no,
Forget
the
that.
other shit's going on.
Forget the bribery. No, it's the booze that shuts down the World Cup.
All right, let's look at some football today, guys. Biggest match, pretty much the only match, Belgium, Egypt. We're going to see Belgium in action. They're taking on Canada in a couple days.
The one most important to us probably, Belgium.
Yeah.
We're looking at their starting 11. It's
I have it here.
Very strange starting 11. I don't think it's the one that's going to be
No chance.
deployed against Canada. No way.
No.
I mean, they have two really young guys in the back three with Toby Alderwield in the middle. I don't expect those guys to play. I really
Although
don't.
maybe you need their mobility and pace against Canada.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, you have the anchor in the middle with some pace there. Yeah,
Is that back three today still better than Canada's back three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The back one would be better than
Toby is
back
better
three.
than-
Come on.
I know. It's
Oh,
rough to
no.
say.
I love Alistair Johnson, guys.
But-
Come on.
A lot of these friendlies, we're not seeing the starting lineups anyways. Like most of the ones I've been keeping an eye on, like they have like a solid few, but it's not like their complete
Yeah.
starting lineup. So
I think the
would
thing with
expect
Belgium,
this.
they have a lot of players who played a lot of football. They're starters at their clubs. I mean, a lot of Premier League players as well. So I can understand that. I'm actually surprised to see Kevin De Bruyne in that 11. Really.
Hazard's starting is interesting because there was some question: would he be ready? Would he play in the opening game? And I guess he will. He
He's
gets
probably
through
in
this.
that 11, I'd say, against Canada.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
there?
he's playing today. I think says that he'll be in there.
And listen, talk about a guy. No one's really talking about him, but talk about a guy who can turn it on for 1 month. He has that ability. Like he hasn't been great, obviously, since moving from Chelsea to Real Madrid, but he still has it in him. And I think if there's one more run, it could be this World Cup.
Yeah, I'm with you. Don't dismiss
No.
Eden Hazard. My God, don't dismiss him at all.
Yeah.
We were
because-
talking about like the best attackers Canada's faced, and we talked about Ziyech, right? I don't think Canada's really faced
No.
an attacker quite like Ziyech. They haven't faced one like Hazard
No,
even.
no way.
Right? He'll probably be the best winger that they've come across. Pulisic, maybe? But
And they're getting a
probably not.
pass with Lukaku, but they've never faced anyone probably with the quality of Michy Batshuayi. Let's be honest, right?
exactly.
Well, and that's the thing, we were speaking about this, how Canada's back three, they're aside from Victoria, they're young and they're going to get a move to Europe at some point, and they're going to continue their progression and be a very good players. But Johnston and Miller, they've played against MLS competition. They've never faced anything like Belgium, and that's not their fault, obviously. So it's going to be a bit of an awakening for them, and maybe they'll boss it. Who knows? But there's every chance they're going to be like, wow, this is a different level of football, which we must now get to terms with in the first game, which is why that first game, the more I think about it, the more I get nervous for Canada's chances.
I've been watching tons of prediction videos on YouTube, and one guy said, I can't get it out of my head. He said Canada's going to go through a baptism of fire at the World Cup, and it's just sticking with
It's
me.
a great way of putting it, actually.
And it could happen.
Not a bad thing necessarily, in
No.
the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
It's baptism, right?
baptism of fire, though. You know?
But like that's supposed to signal like something better and
Yeah,
bigger to
on the
come.
other
Well,
side.
the next World Cup, yeah, but not this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Frank Leboeuf has them finishing in the semi-finals, so...
I can't.
We got to get Frank on. Frank, if you're watching,
God.
I
Look
messaged
at-
him, hey, Frank, dude, message me back on Instagram. But he was posting his stories, but he won't reply to
wow.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
eh?
busy, Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If James slides in,
Yeah, James, you guys have
James
not.
slides in. James,
No chance.
sold.
No, okay. We don't need no Frank book here.
Any Ronaldo news anyone wants to touch on since it's been the week of Ronaldo?
I think he's self-indulgent.
No.
So, really?
Did you watch both parts?
I haven't seen the first one yet. I saw
So
the
what did
second
you?
one.
The second part. Your biggest
Self-indulgent, he's
takeaway.
bigger than the game, he's the most important thing out there, and
Yeah.
he's a smart guy, he's really well spoken, we know that. He sounds just like Ellie here at the parlay, which doesn't mean anything to our listeners and viewers, but he does. It's ridiculous, by the way. But I mean, I don't think I learned anything from this.
Yeah.
Here's who he is.
Except he turned down a $350 million move to Saudi Arabia.
Saudi, yeah.
That's pretty
It
crazy.
just shows how rich he is, though.
Yeah, wait,
That's
that's
exactly
what
what
you
I thought.
said, right?
You know what I
He
mean?
has
It's
the
'cause-
same amount of followers, as he does like Money in the Bank.
Yeah, was it
No,
700 million or something?
Someone told me.
That was one of his lines.
That makes
Yeah,
sense,
he has
though.
more or his
Yeah,
same amount of
standard.
Instagram
That's why
followers.
him,
yeah.
like the contract being terminated and him maybe getting fined by United. I'm like,
pennies.
yeah, what? That's nothing.
That's-
This is what he wanted.
Him
This-
getting that contract getting ripped up is the best thing that can happen to him right now.
absolutely.
The team get him on a free transfer, right? You want to pay a fee?
Free,
for
yeah,
him?
precisely. Yeah,
Get him on a
okay.
free?
Although what they're saying about, there was interest, but not that many clubs interested was, I guess, somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
He
Pretty
name dropped. He name dropped Sporting and
Sporting,
Napoli.
Napoli. It's like, come
Sporting,
on. They can't
Sporting came
afford
out
me.
and said that they have not made any official offer.
Official.
Who knows? Honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore.
I don't
honestly
know.
do not know what to believe.
I know that he won't be there come January.
No, there's no way.
Yeah,
No, that's
How?
done, right?
How can
Yeah.
you?
they've already started the process of terminating his
He
contract.
buried all the young guys at United.
Oh
Very
my
United as a
God.
whole.
Well, he buried a young
Yeah.
generation, which I don't disagree with all of it, to be honest. I mean,
No.
talking about
Yeah,
a
but-
a sense,
Kids nowadays.
sense of entitlement. Right?
Of course,
I
of course,
understand.
these two here.
No, no,
all
no, no.
about that.
Hey, I just turned 21.
No,
No,
but he also said though but they're lucky, it's not their fault. But it's true. Like, what are you gonna get mad because they have an easier road maybe? It sucks, but just because they didn't have to suffer, I think that's like the thing. It's almost just like it pains him maybe because I don't know, he had to go through a lot more.
Should you suffer? Is that part of the journey? You hear about, the old school guys and how they treated the young players coming through in the boot room, and it's not cool. At the same time, it did build character. So, I'm not saying hazing.
Yeah.
I'm not.
James was a big hate.
You should have seen what happened when he started.
Mike, yours is on the way, by the way. Yeah.
I haven't started with you yet.
But no, I mean, I'm not condoning some of the behavior because it was way too much. But you need some of these younger players coming through. And I hear this from coaches. I'm not saying this because I'm an old bugger, right? I hear this from coaches say these guys don't accept it, don't want it. And they haven't got that fight in them. And that's, I kind of think, what he was saying. So,
Yeah.
and maybe he's got a point.
Yeah, you sound like my
lot-
dad.
no,
told
well, a
me.
lot-
I used to walk miles to school.
Oh,
every
that's the one.
single
You don't even
day.
know.
But if you think about all the best players that have ever played football, most of them anyway, at least in my time, they've come from nothing,
Yeah.
right? Maradona,
yeah.
Messi, Ronaldo. I'm feeling to think of any other players.
Some
right
of
now.
them now still.
Yeah. Jesus, remember their
Yeah.
famous pictures of him?
Yeah, Pele.
Oh, sorry. What are we hearing about Anthony now?
Anthony's gonna be the best footballer in the world.
What?
Anthony
there. It
came
came
out
from the
with that.
favelas, and he came from that Players Tribune article
Yeah,
where
he used
he
to
had to
jump
step
over
over
dead
dead
bodies.
bodies.
You
Yeah,
see what
yeah.
some of those guys
Come
have to
on.
go through? That's the
No, the South Americans though, that's
the
different.
suffering and
They are,
challenge,
yeah.
I think that's kind of that's what Ronaldo meant by suffering, like having to really come from zero.
Yeah, and yeah.
Which
I
not
suppose.
everyone should be put in that situation. I mean, as a parent, like you want your kid to get the best starting position as possible.
Yeah, but I try and at least once a week make her step over dead bodies. I try. To
Okay.
build a character.
That's it. That's it. We're done today. We're done.
Is that inappropriate?
I thought it was fine, man.
Okay.
Okay, World
Mikey's on
Cup
my side.
in
Build
2 days,
character.
guys.